and welcome to the final ShElite showcase of 2021. I am your hostess with the mostest, the shaman of ShElite, Miss Katie Kinsey Bay. And as you can see, I am alone. Savannah, my co-host, is on her way to Disney. That's fun. It is okay. I'm going solo. It's no big deal. Thank you to everyone who is here in the chat, which, of course, is just blowing up because they're all crazy. But I love them. They're great. I need to not look at my phone. I'm not going to do that this episode. But thank you to everyone who is here, whether you're watching live on Twitch. Oh, yeah. Wait. I'm also the Pornhub Poppy. I completely forgot. Thank you, Matt. I am Pornhub Poppy. If you don't know, you need to go watch Smackin' It Raw. I was on fucking at least 12 episodes this year alone. Go check that out. And, you know, Smackin' It Raw is great. Shout out to Matt, Mr. Matt Ritter. But you can find me and Savannah typically live, twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase, every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, holidays, different times, different days. Like, this is Wednesday at, like, 10:40 on, you know, just a random day. But it's fine. We're here. We're chilling. It's great. We're just going to talk about the year, about some things that happened, talk about 2022, things we want to happen, because I didn't know what I wanted to do for this show, and now that I'm alone, I had to kind of think more on the fly. It's fine. We got it figured out. Again, a shout out to Matt, because he helped me figure out what I wanted to do. So before I get into what happened this year and all of that, I'm ignoring all of you in the chat. So I'll start with, there's three things that I want to talk about. News-wise. News and rumors-wise. One, JR is cancer-free. Love that. That's a good man. He went through all of the radiation. He did one every single day to make sure he was good and ready to be back on Dynamite, which he was tonight for the last Dynamite of the year, which is crazy that it's already almost 2022. Because this year went both super fucking slow and fast as hell. I don't know. But congratulations, JR, for being cancer-free. We're happy he's back on commentary. And I'm glad Punk kind of acknowledged that in the promo tonight. Now let's talk about everything else that happened. Toni Storm was released from WWE. Now, before Twitter blows the fuck up again, she requested her release. She asked to be let go. They weren't fucking doing anything with her. The last thing they did with her was her getting pied by Charlotte. And honestly, if she can go somewhere else and be happy and actually wrestle and be utilized, that's all that matters. Twitter saw all of this and just blew up. Because I've said it numerous times on this show, Twitter is a toxic cesspool, and people choose. They choose their own narrative. And that's not how the world works. Like, I'm sorry. You can't just see something and think your own way about it. Like, let me try and, like, form my words better. She asked for her release, right? She wanted to fucking go. And people immediately are just jumping down her throat, blaming WWE, which, I mean, they're kind of partly to blame because they did nothing with her since she got moved up. Neither here nor there. But they, you know, they take it and ran. Whatever. Twitter fucking sucks. I'm just happy Toni Storm's gonna be happy. That's what I've said about 98% of these releases that have happened this year, which I will talk about. I'm gonna read all of that later. I'm getting very confused and sidetracked. And now I want to talk about Brandy fucking Rhodes. Now, Savannah's not here to roast the Rhodes family, so I have to do it. Brandy Rhodes, who the hell told you you could fucking come out and talk on Dynamite? Not a single fucking soul. No one wants to hear you run your mouth, code switching, acting like you're shit. Stop. Not a single person wanted to hear it. People who did are up Cody Rhodes' ass too fucking much. And they're obsessed, and they gotta chill. Like, it's... She got booed. Because nobody fucking likes Brandy. I've said repeatedly I've wanted her to get hit. I wanted Malachi Black to give her the black mass. Just kick her in the face. Not the way that I want to be kicked in the face by Xia Li, because that's fun. No, I wanted her to just get, like, a roundhouse kick to the fucking face. I just... And people are going to say that, oh, Dan Lambert was slut-shaming, whatever. Yeah, Dan Lambert's also a scumbag. We know. That's his thing. If he continues to slut-shame, whatever. Men are going to do that because, sorry guys, men are kind of disgusting, and that's what they do. That's how the world works. Sadly, as a woman, I know. It's not fun. But, back to the topic at hand. Brandy Rhodes needs to get her... See, I'm trying to think of everything she was telling Jade in the first promo. I can't even remember. She just needs to get her ass off of TV, go home and be a mom. Your kid's like a few months old, maybe? Go fucking take care of your kid. Ain't nobody wants to see you wrestle. Calling your submission the stretch mark, thinking you're cute. Get the fuck out of here with that. No one wants Brandy Rhodes on TV in 2020, 2021, 2022, and beyond. And Bully Ray said that segment was money. Fuck you. Get your ass out of here with that. That was not money. That was trash. I think that was well enough. I hope I did Savannah proud with that. It's a nice little rant. Whew. Let's talk about 2021, right? First, I need a drink. Because, again, it wouldn't be a ShElite showcase if I wasn't drinking in some way, shape, or form. 2021 was a big year for me, personally. And for this podcast. We'll start kind of with just me. So, this year I went to 5 live events, which is the most I've been to in a year span. I treated myself to a WWE live event after my birthday back in July. I went to both AEW Dynamite and the debut of AEW Rampage. I got to meet Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. Love her. And then I went to fucking SummerSlam. I went to Vegas for a show. If you would have told me 2 years ago I would have traveled across the country to go to a wrestling event and meet people I became friends with through this podcast, I would have told you were fucking crazy. I got to meet the entirety of the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. Shout out. Those are my guys. Like, the entirety. You guys don't even see him that often, but I met Malik. He shows up, Mr. 24/7. I got to meet him and TC Fontaine. And, of course, Mr. Wreak Havoc. I've said it before. He is my advocate. Sunday Funday. Yes. Whatever. Whatever you say, Matt. And then, most recently, Tuesday night, because this is going up Thursday, so Tuesday night, I went to the WWE holiday tour. A little Christmas gift to myself, you know? I got to see a cage match live for the first time. I didn't get to see it lowered, which was kind of disappointing, but they, like, brought out the pieces, so I got to see it being made. That was cool. And getting to see people I've never seen wrestle is a unique experience. I always suggest that people, go to a live event if they can, because it's a completely different atmosphere than, like, TV. Like, the live event, Kevin Owens screaming and talking trash the entire time during his match with AJ. Some little kid was flipping off Kevin Owens the entire match. When I say little kid, I think this kid was less than 10. He was, like, second row, just the entire match. And it was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I loved it. And we'll stay with the theme of me. I basically, when this podcast, when ShElite was, or when I was on Smack Raw, I was doing a Raw recap one night with Kevin and Reek. And I basically outed myself. So it was a few months later where I officially came out as bisexual, which was one of the cooler things I got to do this year. Obviously, I've known for a while, but not a lot of people knew. So I finally got to do that. You know, happy Pride, all that fun stuff. And that kind of let me embrace the thirst I have for people. Xia Li, Sonya Deville, Zion Quinn, Toxic Attraction. Like, there's too many. The thirst is real, you know? Rhea Ripley. My God. I am astounded every time I look at Rhea Ripley in person, because she is gorgeous. Like, that's a woman. My God. Proud of you. Thank you, Matt. Proud of myself. Which is something I rarely say. But I'm actually proud of myself for doing that. And this year, I've done a lot. Like, this channel, this podcast, for example. Savannah and me, well, mainly me, I decided, you know what, it's time I start my own thing. So I left Smack Raw. Oh my God, like, Carmelo Hayes, yes, I can't forget Carmelo. I told you, there's too many. I'm probably forgot, like, a lot of them, but, I decided back in August, after I hit a year, I took ShElite, I made it my own thing. I don't know why my voice cracked. And I turned it into this whole brand. So, of course, we have ShElite Showcase, the weekly recap Savannah and I do. But then I got to expand on that. So not only do we have the weekly recaps, but I get to do interviews with some of my friends, and I get to, you know, dive deeper inside the mind of some of them. The most recent episode with Kyle, Pretty Kyle, Apron Bump, is up on the channel. And there's some from a lot of my other friends. I'll talk about that at the end, because I have things about that I want to talk about. But also, I decided, you know what, there's more to life than podcasting about wrestling. So I decided I'll gather some friends every month, and we'll talk about things that aren't wrestling. It'll be brought up in conversation, obviously, but that won't be the main thing. So, In the Crowd became a thing. I have 2 episodes up of that. The Chicago episode, the first one with Reek, TC, and Matt. I've also realized there's a theme within the crowd where someone shows up late as fuck and then I am mad the entire episode, but it makes for good entertainment, so as long as everyone else enjoys it, I will suffer slightly. Katie worked so hard, somebody give her a raise. I don't get paid. Trust me, if I got paid, I'd give myself a raise. Because I've earned it. I've busted my ass this year. hands down. I can't even think of the number of podcasts I have done this year on Smacked Raw, this channel, Smacking It Raw, Young Kings, Straight Talk, Apron Bump. I've got the chance to be on so many different podcasts this year. And I've basically become like a co-host for Smacking It Raw, hence the Pornhub Poppy thing from the beginning. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful I got to be on all of these shows and meet new people. And that's something I will talk about also later. And, you know, we got to do, like, themed episodes for this show. We had a show fall on my birthday. Literally the day of my birthday, the day I turned 25. That was when we were on Smacked Raw still. Havoc Hour, Get Yo. Again, I've been on so many. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, I finally got to be on Get Yo. Crazy. Havoc Hour, we did an entire ass Star Wars series because I've never seen it. Like, shit's crazy. See, everyone needs to get themselves a core group of friends and make that like your squad. Make them your go-to. Everyone needs their own cafeteria. If you know, you know. But the themed episodes. We did one on my birthday. Halloween. We did the spooky showcase. We did the Christmas episode last week. We have New Year's Eve. We'll probably have like a Valentine's Day one. And I like doing themed episodes because it gives me a chance to kind of let go a little more and play more into that theme. So I'm happy I got to do that this year, and next year we got plenty more holidays to fucking go. Except I'm gonna be busy as fuck next year, which I'm gonna talk about. But I have a lot of plans for next year, so we'll be making it work. I did get a Christmas bonus for the help, which I will be wearing tomorrow if we end up doing the show. Now, that's like the majority of what happened in 2021 for this channel, this show, this podcast, if you will, and myself. Some other things happened in the year, but like, that's personal stuff, so like, I don't gotta tell y'all nothing. But I wanted to do some awards that Matt actually helped me think of, so again, thank you, Matt. And I actually had the hardest time thinking about some of these, because again, 2021 was both the longest fucking year and the shortest year, and it also blended together with 2020, because we were still in pandemic, and like, still prime, like, lockdown in the beginning of the year, and things started finally opening back up this year, and it's just been a fucking roller coaster. So, again, I had a hard time thinking about this. Some of these were very easy for me. Like, for example, new faction. Toxic Attraction. My thirst and love for Toxic Attraction, Mandy Rose, JC Jane, JG Dolan. JG Dolan is, my god. But they hold all of the gold for the women in NXT. Mandy Rose came down to NXT and was a whole new person. Brunette, looking like a snack, got herself a faction, won the NXT Women's Championship. She's defending it at New Year's Evil, which that's going to be a good match. Like, I love women's wrestling, obviously, or else I wouldn't be having this podcast. But they're doing something down there, and I love it. Also, I keep getting distracted by my fireworks. So if you're watching the video on YouTube after the fact, I have fireworks just going off in the background. Because, you know, Happy New Year. And all that shit. So yeah, my new faction is definitely going to go to Toxic Attraction. Because Toxic Attraction, you know? Future star, I feel like this is, like, gonna be the same answer for a lot of people who end up doing ones like these, if people do award shows. Braun Breaker for the guys, for sure. Big Bad Booty Breaker. He went toe-to-toe with Tommaso Ciampa. They're gonna go toe-to-toe again. He might win. I'm thinking he might win the title from Ciampa in New Year's Evil. I wouldn't be mad. It'd be interesting to see. But Baby Steiner has fully embraced it. He's a hell of an athlete. And, like, he's leaning into that. And he's leaning into his name, even though he's not going by Steiner. Tony D'Angelo is a good choice. Gigi Dolan. Cora Jade is also a big one. She has her NXT Women's title match at New Year's Evil. Girl went through a fucking table off the cage at War Games. No. Grayson Waller, get that shit out of here. I'm not a fan of Grayson Waller. I hope AJ whoops him at New Year's Evil, because So yeah, Braun Breaker and Cora Jade. Those two, especially in NXT, those are future stars. I mean, already kind of stars in the making. It's just 2022 is going to be, like, their year, I think. I think NXT is putting a lot of stock into them. And I think they should. I think it's a good idea. But yeah, Tony D'Angelo's good. Gigi Dolan, obviously. Again, I had a hard time thinking about some of these. Like, for example, tag team. Again, 2020 and 2021 blended together, so I was having a hard time figuring out what actually happened this year versus last year. Usos won the titles at Money in the Bank. Have been champs since. So that's... When the fuck did Money in the Bank happen? July? So, okay, the majority of the year, they've been... Okay, almost the majority of the year, they've been SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And then, the Lucha Bros from AEW. Because they needed that push, and it happened. The cage match was a banger. It was such a good match. That's why I didn't do, like, match of the year, because we would have been here an hour just talking about matches. And I didn't want to do that. But, like, the Lucha Bros are killing it. I'm very excited for their tag match on January 5th. The first episode of Dynamite going to TBS against Jurassic Express. Couldn't think of their name for a second. I almost just said Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Gimmick change. Jesus. I was having a hard time thinking about this. Because I was like, okay, well, who's actually had a gimmick change this year? And again, my brain could not figure out anything. So I was doing a lot of Googling and a lot of, like, trying to figure it out. And then it kind of just, like, hit me in the face. Bryan Danielson. He went from, you know, main event in WrestleMania, being the babyface, because he was going against Roman, obviously, to now, you know, stomping people's face in, like, heel, evil Bryan Danielson. Brock is also a good choice. I almost put Brock, because, you know, he went from Beast Incarnate to Ponytail Brock. And I do love me some Ponytail Brock. Like, that is my favorite iteration of Brock Lesnar's Ponytail Brock. I do love him. He's great. Because he's so funny. It's like when people loved Boombox Brock, which that's a tongue twister to say. And that's kind of how I feel about Ponytail Brock. He's so funny. He's just trying to be friends with Sami Zayn. He's out here just in, like, flannels and overalls and bootcut jeans. It's so funny. Shout out to Brock Lesnar. Oh, yeah, I popped for Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Oh, well. whatever. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I accept that it happened, and I don't care. I did not pop for Charlotte. I will state that as a fact. And then I created my own category of want better for in 2022. Santana and Ortiz, proud and powerful. I am so sick of the mistreatment they get on AEW. Right? Inner Circle's like not a thing anymore. Clearly, because Jericho took a sweet ass time getting out there tonight. They're such a good tag team, and I have been wanting them to get gold, or at least get close to the gold, since they started in AEW. And now they're going to be in this whole bullshit feud between Kingston and Jericho. No. I want Santana and Ortiz to hold the tag team gold next year. Wardlow needs to drop MJF on his head, get rid of him, because the man's out here just trying to take your title when you haven't even won one yet. And Wardlow is a beast. I've seen him wrestle live. He's incredible. He knows what he's doing, and if they put more into his character and get him away from Max, he'll be great. I hope Wardlow also wins gold in some aspect. And again, keep him away from Maxwell. And then finally, every single person who was released from WWE this year, over 100 people. Oh god. Let me just try and name some. Keith Lee, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, Mia Yim, Toni Storm. Jesus. Again, there's been literally so many. I'm trying to think of people who aren't currently, like, signed anywhere. Oh my god. I was ready to come out here with, like, a full-ass list. Shit. Basically everyone except Jackson Ryker, because Jackson Ryker's actually a piece of fucking shit. And I don't care where he goes. I really don't. And again, wherever people go, I hope they're happy. Because it's Ember Moon. Thank you. Ember Moon is another big one. Tegan Nox. I love Tegan Nox. And I legit cried on this podcast when I found out she got released. Because she was one of my favorite people. Thank you. See? Guys, there was a lot of people. I forgot. And, like, again, I just want these people to, if they continue to wrestle and want to continue that, I hope they go somewhere where they're happy. And if they don't want to wrestle anymore, like Nia Jax just said she doesn't really want to wrestle, I hope they're happy doing whatever they're doing. Because nobody deserved to get released except Jackson Ryker. And maybe Eva Marie. Because, like, she still didn't improve in the ring. Like, at all. It's terrible. It's a terrible time. But we're just going to move on to things for 2022. Now, I am going to more events. Like, personally speaking, this is, not the show, obviously. I plan on going to more live events. I already bought my ticket. I'm going to the Raw before WrestleMania, which I'm very excited. So I literally bought my ticket yesterday. As soon as they went on pre-sale, I bought it. I'm very excited to do that. And then I plan on going to Money in the Bank in Vegas. I'm trying to go around to possibly meet Young Kings out there again. I think that was the plan. We'll see what happens. But regardless, I'm trying to go out to Vegas again. Money in the Bank, that'll be my first Money in the Bank pay-per-view. My second one in Vegas, 2 years in a row. We're trying to make shit happen. Who knows? I might go to another event. We'll see what happens. If AEW wants to swing around again, I might go to that too. Because fuck it. Wrestling's one of the only things that, like, brings me happiness. Dead ass. People ask me all the time. They're like, "Oh, you're spending money to go to a wrestling event." I'm like, "You're damn right. One of the only things that gives me serotonin, you bet your ass I'm going. Podcasting, wrestling, my friends. That's all I really need." Sunday Funday 2.0. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see about that. But for the show, I'm going to focus more on the show now. For plans I want for 2022. I need and want to branch out more. Obviously, I have the same core group that I was talking about before that I go to for everything. They're my go-tos if I need a co-host, if I need people on my shows. They're there. They're my go-tos. But I need to branch out of my bubble and start interacting more with people, which I've kind of started to do on Twitter, and just start kind of shooting my shot with interviews and everything. I interviewed Warren Hayes this year. Can you believe that? That's something I never thought was going to happen. Especially when, like, I started podcasting, I never would have expected Warren Hayes. So, again, shooting my shot. That's what I got to do. Because I want to get more people for... I need to get more people for Inside the Mind of. That's another thing. We are filming my episode of Inside the Mind of next week. Mr. Matt Ritter is going to be my question asker, I guess, my moderator. No, not hosted by The Rack. The Rack might make an appearance or two, but not hosted by The Rack. But that's going to be a unique one because it's not going to be like the questions I've asked every other person. This is going to be like questions I have no idea. I'm going in 100% blind. These questions were asked by my friends. Matt's the only one who knows them and the people who asked. And we're going to do something different with it. I'm not going to explain anymore. You guys are just going to have to watch, and I mean watch, the episode whenever it comes out. Which I suggest doing for all of our episodes of everything on this channel. I always suggest watching the video because sometimes shit just goes haywire or whatever. You can see why we laugh or we do these things and like see genuine reactions. So that's just my suggestion. Also, I'm just going to apologize for all of the deep breaths and the sneezing and the coughing I've done and the sniffling. Still, recovering from COVID. I'm negative, but, like, I still got the side effects. Yes, I want as many questions as possible, Matt. Please ask. I also kind of want to maybe do another show for this channel. I don't know necessarily what I want it to be. Savannah will also be having her show in January. The New Japan Takeover. I'm very excited because people will finally hear the other theme that Justin, shout out to Heel Tactics, all of his links are in the description of the video and the audio. Everyone will finally hear that theme because he's created all the themes for these shows. And I sincerely appreciate it. That's the man right there. If you guys need beats for anything, he should be your go-to 100%. But Savannah's going to have the New Japan Takeover. I like doing podcasts. So I want to try and maybe think of something else for me to do. Again, a work in progress. I got time. It doesn't have to be started in January. But I kind of want to do another podcast. Not wrestling related. Because having ShElite and having kind of Inside the Mind of, those are like my wrestling podcast type ones. In the crowd is where I get to talk about stuff that isn't wrestling. And I kind of want to... I don't know. I'm still playing with the idea, but I want to do something else. What it'll be about, I have no fucking idea. I just know that I would like to do more. Because I'm constantly podcasting. It's kind of a problem. Oh well. And I'm thinking about doing some redesign shit. I also want to get merch out, and of course I'm going to go through What a Maneuver, because that's the best company to get t-shirts and have merch. Because I don't have fucking 5,000 people on Twitter, so whatever. But I need to get merch made. I want to do like a ShElite showcase shirt for sure. And then kind of we'll go from there. But I know last time I talked to them, because I talked to them a few months ago, there was stuff I had to change about the design. In the Crowd SVU edition. We'll talk. But I do want to get that made, because I think seeing our logo on a t-shirt would be fucking cool. And I would hope people would buy it. I don't know. But maybe. I just think it'd be cool. I also kind of just want one for myself. But I do want to do that. And I'm thinking about maybe redesigning some of this stuff. Maybe on like OBS or the YouTube channel or the Twitch. We've only been doing like this channel for a few months. So there's a lot of room for improvement. And that's something I want to get better at the inside perspective of this. So like learning more about analytics and YouTube and Twitch, and trying to just make this a better podcast overall, because this is all on me. I started this is mine, I'm the one in charge kind of thing. I brought this upon myself, and I'm willingly doing it. I just want to improve it and see, oh god, what else I could do to fix it, make it cool, make it intriguing and inviting for people. Maybe start doing more live streams that aren't podcasts. Or aren't ShElite. Maybe that's another way I could do it. I would like you all to tell me what you would like to see. Now, you could say that in the chat here on Twitch, YouTube comments, tweet me at KatieRaslin13. It's right there if you're watching the video. Let me know what you would want to see from Savannah and I in next year. In the next year. I don't know. I don't know how to speak anymore. Whatever. But that's kind of like my goals for next year. I want to be on more podcasts. I want to do another podcast. I want to get merch. I want to redesign, rebuild. What the fuck was Reclaim? Was that the Seth Rollins shirt? Redesign, rebuild, reclaim. I'm gonna say that. That's what I want. And before I go and do all of the spiel and everything, Matt asked me, there's like a core 4. So basically one from each show. Me, Matt from Smackin' It Raw, Reek from Young Kings, and Justin from Get Show. There was a Super Show incident that happened a few months ago. And ever since then, it's just been a ride. So he asked me if we were the 4 pillars of AEW, the Britt Baker version, who would we be? And I had a hard time with this, not gonna lie. And the people in the chat have already heard this, but for the people who are watching the video or listening to the audio, I think I would be Britt Baker, because Britsburg. It's the only thing that makes sense, right? In my mind. I think Matt would be Jungle Boy. Reek would be Darby Allin. I'm sorry, Reek. And Justin would be Sammy Guevara. Don't ask me why I think that, it just makes sense in my mind. I have no rhyme or reason to it besides me being Britt Baker. I could also be Darby because I'm emo. As I'm wearing like a fucking pink hoodie for once. I don't know. So there's a few ways that one could go. But then he also asked if we were the 4 horsewomen of WWE, who would we be? I think Matt would be Charlotte. I would be Becky. Sasha would be Reek. Or Reek would be Sasha. Jesus. And Justin would be Bailey. Again, don't ask me why. I don't know. It just makes sense in my mind. But if you know the 4 of us, and you think your answers are different than mine, again, let me know. Comments, tweet me, what have you. Whew. Wow. Talking a lot when you are very short of breath is kind of exhausting. But that has been the final ShElite showcase of 2021. Holy shit. It has been a year. It's been a few months since we started this. And I'm very happy with everything we've done so far. I want to thank everyone who has been on this show, who I've interviewed this year, who's done any collabs with me. Thank you for anyone who's allowed me on their shows, on their podcasts. It is an honor, and I appreciate it so much. Twitch.tv/ShElite Showcase. YouTube, please subscribe. Y'all, that's another thing. I want a fucking custom URL for YouTube in 2022. So I'm gonna need all y'all to subscribe. Get your friends. Tell them to subscribe. Take their phone. Make them subscribe. I don't care what you do. I want a custom URL for YouTube. Please, for the love of God. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Leave a review if you think we are worthy of a review. I leave it up to you guys. I'm not going to force you to do anything. Except to subscribing to YouTube because, like, I really want that custom URL. That I'm forcing you guys to do. Again, big shout out to Heel Tactics on Twitter. Justin, that's our boy. He's created all the themes for this channel, ShElite, Inside the Mind of, In the Crowd, and New Japan Takeover, which you all will be hearing next year. Which is so weird. And again, just feel free to follow me on Twitter at GatorWrestling13 for all updates on ShElite. Yeah. I don't know how I was going to end this. I thought I was going to burp. I didn't, but thank you guys again for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. And both Savannah and I, because she will be here next time, we'll see you in 2022. Bye-bye.